Welcome back. We have a breaking update coming in amid the Karnataka Maharashtra border controversy. The MVA MPs are likely to meet the Home Minister Amit Shah regarding the border dispute. The meeting is scheduled at 11 a.m. A very crucial meeting. This comes amid the escalating tensions along the border. Remember, several sporadic incidents of violence have also been reported. Massive protests that are taking place along the border over the dispute. And now the MVA MPs are meeting Amit Shah. That meeting is scheduled for 11 a.m. and this comes amid the tensions that have been flaring over the statements that have been made by the chief ministers of both Karnataka as well as Maharashtra. My colleague Arunil Saradekar joining us live with the details of that story. Arunil, it's a controversy that has been triggered by the chief ministers of Maharashtra and Karnataka. Now, a meeting of the MVA MPs with Amit Shah expected at 11 a.m. What's expected in this meeting, because we're seeing sporadic incidents of violence breaking out?
Well, that is right. Member of parliaments from the Maha Vikas Aghadi parties, that is the Congress, NCP and Uddhav will be meeting Home Minister Amit Shah at around 11:30 a.m. today in the parliament only. They will be seeking the centre's intervention. Now, coming to the allegations coming in from the Maha Vikas Aghadi parties, they have been saying, especially Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar also spoke yesterday. It was Uddhav Thackeray also who spoke. They have been saying that it was first the Karnataka CM, Mr. Bommai, who made aggressive statements regarding people from Solapur and Sangli wanting to join the state of Karnataka. And that is when violence basically broke out in the border areas. Now, specifically, they've been blaming, the Maha Vikas Aghadi parties have been blaming the present Maharashtra government, that is CM Shinde Sarkar, and with Shinde-Fadnavis, basically saying that just because there is a pressure that is being mounted by the center, that is why CM Shinde Sarkar is not acting against the violence that is happening against
Okay.
Marathis.
Violence being reported on the vehicles that are coming in from Maharashtra by the pro-Kannada groups, but also several Karnataka vehicles that had been targeted along the border. This is after, like you mentioned, statements were made by both the Maharashtra Chief Minister and the Karnataka Chief Minister. They're accused of playing to the gallery at a time when tensions are escalating at the border. On ground, we're seeing a lot of violence taking place as well. Neha is also joining us live on the broadcast. Do stay on with us, Arunil. Neha, we're seeing protests taking place, violence, situation escalating. The chief ministers have spoken to each other, but after controversial statements were made from both sides, and this comes at a time when the dispute is in the top court of the country, we are seeing on ground the situation has very clearly escalated.
Yes, absolutely. Pratibha, the situation had reached a point where bus services between both states had to be suspended between Karnataka and Maharashtra because of the kind of sporadic incidents that we were seeing on both sides of the border. Now, be it in Karnataka near the border near Nipani, or in Maharashtra, in fact, near Kolhapur and near the smaller villages like Kagal as well, we've seen that, buses were attacked, buses were blackened as well. And while, Karnataka, in fact, has restored the bus services and they aren't suspended anymore to Maharashtra, on Maharashtra's end, bus services to Karnataka have not yet been restored completely. Now, it's also important here to mention that while, of course, the protests and that aspect of it is one thing, the politics over this has taken center stage, and it's the people that are really suffering the most at the border right now, unable to really, of course, make it across the border without having to sort of struggle. Now, having said that, it's also important to mention, like Arunil was saying, that the MVA MPs, in fact, would be meeting the Home Minister at 11 o'clock. There's also a massive agitation that's been planned tomorrow in Kolhapur, by the Maha Vikas Aghadi itself. We're going to be seeing the participation of many of their workers and the local leaders as well. And the main demand, again, being that this matter get resolved at the earliest. Now, having said that, things have remained, of course, rather peaceful, at least for the past 24 hours. There have been sporadic incidents across, both sides. Even in Mumbai, we saw a bus being blackened over there with a Karnataka.
This is the violence that has escalated, but now, like you mentioned, the situation also seems to be under control. This is a dispute that has spanned over 7 decades in the top court. We're keeping an eye out on the developments. Thanking Neha and Arunil for joining us.